All right, YouTube, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel for the hottest Pokemon cards of the week, something we do every single week here on the channel so that you guys know what is moving in the market right now. And we are going to be going over a bunch of cards today because there has been a ton of movement over the last week and some really interesting movement as well. So what we've got is we've got our list of cards here. But before we jump into that, I just want to say thank you all for 2,000 subscribers. We have been growing extremely quickly and we are on our way to 3K. Remember, we are doing a giveaway at 3,000 subscribers as well. So make sure you're subscribed and you are leaving a comment on every video because that is what we will be drawing the winner from. Now, on top of that, I do want to say thank you to Sleeved for today's video sponsor. Sleeved is a dedicated Discord community that brings you restock notifications for all of your favorite stores when they get new Pokemon stock. Places like Target, Walmart, Best Buy, all of those sort of stores that you can get your Pokemon cards from, Sleeved has you covered. If you guys want to check out the description down below, there is a link to join the Discord server. And the best part about it, it is absolutely free. So you're never going to miss out on restocks again. And you're going to get notified as soon as products do become available. So if you want to check them out, like I said, they are down in the description below. And thank you to Sleeved for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's jump into the cards here over on TCG Player. I have loaded up everything. I just want to make sure we're on near mint here. The first card we're looking at is the Brute Bonnet from Paradox Rift. I did briefly speak about this card in a recent video saying it was probably about to explode. And of course, I was right. Brute Bonnet has gone up 466% in the last 3 months, a majority of which is a massive spike in the last week or so. We went from $8.47 all the way up to $35. And it has slightly dropped now to $29, and market price is actually holding at $27. So this is one of those cards where the artwork is actually by the same artist that does the Drowsy from Scarlet Violet base. And all of that artist's cards seem to be going up right now, whether that is people buying them out and it's rising for that reason, or people are appreciating the artwork more, so they're looking more into the artist's other cards. But to me, Brute Bonnet is not exactly a Pokemon that I like or many people like as far as I'm aware. But this card has rocketed up and it's probably due to the ton of sales that's happened recently. So mostly throughout the last few months, there's been 15 to 20 items sold in any couple of day period. We then had 45 sales, 97 sales, and then back down to 23, 20. So I think that spike was just off the back of those two really high sale periods. But 466% gain is nothing to snark at. I will say, I do think this will probably drop pretty quickly. So if you've got it, I would sell it now if you're not looking to keep it in your collection and move on to something that you actually do want. The next one is the Iron Moth from Paradox Rift. This one is up 403%, which is crazy. I do actually like the artwork in this card. Like, I think it's a really cool, like, space, like, what do they call it? The Northern Lights style card. You can obviously see the background as well. Iron Moth, again, I mean, it's not really a Pokemon that I resonate with super well, but it's sitting at around the $24 mark now after being like $5 forever, pretty much. And now it's gone up to being a $24 card. So again, a huge increase on this one from Paradox Rift. The next couple, Frigibax, Arctobax, and Baxcalibur. We spoke about these earlier in the week. There's a lot of people questioning whether this is being manipulated by the market or if it's just, you know, something else. I think this is the cutest of the three, to be honest. I think the Frigibax with the little like rainbow road, it's kind of cool. And it's gone from $10 up to $25 now at market price. 300% increase on the last 3 months, which again, these numbers are wild. It makes you start to wonder if, you know, there is a crash coming or are we going to see some sort of market correction? It seems like every illustration rare right now is just blowing up. And every single day we're seeing a new one being pretty much bought out and jacking the prices up. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but I feel like TCG players price updating because they are the place most people go to check current market prices. I think when places start to sell out, like TCG Player, for example, it does drive their listing prices all the way up. And I guess their market price history all the way up because people are now aware that if you buy out a card, it's going to rocket in value because there's none left on TCG Player. Whereas, you know, places like eBay might still be selling them for $5, $10 for a little bit longer because they're a bit slower to correct after TCG Player sells out of all the cheaper copies. But again, I don't know if there can be a fix to that with TCG Player, because their pricing and I guess their charts here do go based off what is in stock on their website. So that's always a tricky one to battle. But we're going to jump over to Arctobax. 794% increase, bro. Are you kidding me? Yeah, these cards have just been going absolutely crazy. Paldea Evolved, I've talked about 100 times, where we know the print quality is bad, we know the centering's bad, we know things like that are going to affect them. So to get a really good copy of this is going to be difficult. And it's gone from being an $8 card pretty much at Valentine's Day, like just after the middle of February. So in the last 2 weeks, it's gone from being a $10 card to being a $32 card. And, you know, you could have got this for $4 3 months ago, which, again, mental to think about. And the last one out of those three is the Baxcalibur. We kind of knew about this one a little bit earlier, and it hasn't had as crazy gains as the other two. But if we switch over to a near mint copy, 383 is nothing to scoff at. The other two obviously being a little bit higher, and the Arctobax specifically being like double. But this one's still up 383%. $46 for a brand new near mint copy, which, I mean, the art is cool. Like, I do get the art style, but these Pokemon to me are just, like, I couldn't even tell you what era these Pokemon are from. I just don't know. So, you know, that's one thing that I look at when I'm looking at investment plays and things like that. These are three cards that I feel like will drop and they will go back down. And this is definitely just because people have bought out all the copies on TCG Player that the pricing is going up. I'll be honest. So I'm not making plays on these cards right now. If I pull them out of a pack, sweet. Money in the bank. I can go sell them, trade them in at my local card store, and I can get stuff that I actually want. So it's not to stop me from opening Paldea Evolved. I definitely still will open it because this card is still in there, which is the Magikarp. And we know how much the Magikarp is worth when we flip to near mint. 275 or 274, I guess, on the current market price, but up 44% in the last 3 months. If you pull Magikarp into the year graph, it's really interesting. Like, it's up 300%. I cannot believe that you could have got this card for $67 at one point. Now, keep in mind, this was before I was even in the hobby, so I had no idea that this card was this cheap. I came in right around here in October because I remember I was at PAX and a friend of mine bought some Pokemon cards and I bought them with him, and it just started a whole chain reaction of how I got back into the hobby, and now here we are. So yeah, I literally started back in October, so this was already a $100 card. So to me, this went from $130 to $274, so it doubled. But I can't imagine the people that saw it at like $67 didn't make a play on it because, I mean, it's Magikarp, and I think it's a cool artwork. No, this isn't everyone's favorite art style, but I like the Gyarados in the background here. I think the Magikarp really pops on the card. The like black and color art style that they've got going in the background is really cool. And it is done by Shinji Kanda. So one of the, I guess, most well-renowned artists for Pokemon right now. If I knew what I knew now back then, I would have been buying like 20 copies of this card because you combine all of those things together and it's just a recipe for a card to rise in value. Didn't think it would do numbers like this, but yeah, it's crazy to see it. It's up 294 in the last year. Speaking of Gen 1, though, Slowpoke is up as well. This is a mod played version, so let's switch over to near mint here. $41.63 for the current market price, up 248%, which is crazy. Again, most of that coming in the last sort of 2 weeks. You could get this for 38 not long ago, but again, it's jumped up now to 42. And a few months ago, this was a $12 card. So again, another one. It's a Gen 1 Pokemon. This one, again, I feel like it might hold value better than like the Frigibax and the Baxcalibur and those cards, just because I feel like more people will resonate with a Gen 1 Pokemon. You think of like when I grew up, these are the Pokemon that I grew up with, and I'm at the point now where I have adult money to spend on this kind of thing. So I feel like Slowpoke's probably going to hold its value a bit more. Magikarp's going to hold its value a little bit more than your Arctobax and the like. So jumping into the next card, Scarlet Violet base is starting to make some moves as well. I've actually just purchased a sealed booster box of Scarlet Violet base, and I may pick up a second one if I can and the funds are available to me. But the Riolu is going up. It's up 136% right now. It is a $26 card where you could have got it 3 months ago for like $11, which, yeah, big jump there. I love this card. I've spoken about this so many times on the channel. I did call this not long ago, saying that this card was one to keep an eye on, and that it would go up in value. I just like the art. I think it's super cute. I'm really into the gym myself. I work in the gym for my day job, so this to me is a really cool art with, you know, all the gym equipment around in the background, and he's just like trashed his room. He's got like the shrine to Lucario in the back as well, which I think is funny. But just an overall really cool card. The artwork's really nice as well. And I'm glad that this is kind of approaching that $30 mark, because I think it's worth it in terms of the art. Pawmot has gone up 150%. It's now, well, that's a light played copy. So let's go to near mint and have a look at that. Up 314%. Okay, big jump. I was a bit underwhelmed for a second there, but yeah, big jump here. $3.74 2 weeks ago is now sitting at $9.02 for market price, 314% up. This card, again, it's not one that I really resonate with too much, and it's not a card that I'm, you know, chomping at the bit to get into my collection or anything like that, but it's a cute artwork. The coloring on it is really nice. I know there's a group of people out here that would absolutely love this card and really enjoy the fact that now it's finally going up in value, because it was like a $2 card for the longest time up until pretty much February this year when it started to get some increase. So last card on the list is the Starly illustration rare. Again, see, I'm telling you, Scarlet Violet base is starting to move. We need to switch this over here. $15.61 for a near mint copy. It's up 529%, which is massive gains on the Starly. I think this is a cool card. Like, Starly for me, as much as it's not like a Pokemon I super resonate with, it does remind me of Pidgey. And I have to remind myself often that this is some kid's Pidgey. You know, to what Pidgey was to me when I was a kid, Starly is to them. So I need to remind myself of that sometimes. And I think the sell-through on this one is pretty high in terms of the jump it took. Yeah, so it went from being like 20 to 30 items sold. There was one period here, Feb 19th to Feb 21st, there was 85 copies sold, and then 37 copies sold in the couple of days after that. So that's probably what's responsible for the spike in this artwork. But illustration res as a whole, I think everything is pretty much going up right now. So you don't really need to be too careful with the cheaper illustration res. One thing, I'm going to make a call here. This is not investment advice. I'm just saying this is a card that is super undervalued. Not the Starly, but the it's the Palafin, not the cartoony artwork one. It's like I call it the Superman Palafin because he looks like super menacing. It is from the Mew set. Paldean Fates. Paldean Fates. The Palafin from Paldean Fates, I think, is super undervalued. That card is awesome. I call it the Superman one because he's literally like staunched there, ready to take on whatever's in his way. But I think that card is like $4 Australian right now. Like, you can pick it up for like $2 US, $2.50 US. I think that's gonna rocket pretty soon as well. That's definitely one people would target because it's cheap and they're just gonna buy it out and it's gonna go up. So take that with you as you will. There's a little bonus tip for you. If you guys want more content, there will be a video popping up on screen somewhere here. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.